What's up, everyone, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be going over my top 10 list for New Comic Book Day, January 19th, 2022. This was an insane week for new comics. Marvel killed it. The indies killed it. Sorry, DC fans, I didn't grab any of the books this week. I'm still looking for some of the back issues. But man, I cannot wait to talk about some of these books. But as always, before I get started off on this week's top 10 list, if you are new to the channel, I drop weekly comic book content that's going to keep you up to date on all of the latest releases. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new content, you won't regret it. And now, without further ado, let's get started on this week's top 10 list. So I hope you all are having a fantastic day so far today and you were able to get all of your new comic book day issues in on time. I managed to grab 12 issues this week, and I know what you're thinking. 12 issues? It was a huge week. It was an absolutely massive week, but financially, I had to set myself a limit, and that limit was 12 issues. I probably could have ended up grabbing 15, 16, hell, even 17 issues. There really were a ton of awesome ones that came out this week. If there are some that I don't end up talking about today that you guys really liked, let me know down low in the comment section. I'm probably going to end up going back and grabbing those issues then, and I'll review them a little bit later in time. And with that being said, as always, just be aware, there's probably going to be spoilers today. I get really excited talking about some of these books. You guys know how it is, but I'm going to put a little spoiler tag down low in the corner for you so you guys know that a spoiler is going to be coming. And now, with these two issues that did not make the top 10 list, they were in no particular order. The first one today, we've got Marvel's brand new series. We've got She-Hulk, issue number 1. This is one of the variant covers. I went into it with very minimal expectations. I don't think it's even on my pull list. And honestly, I really didn't like it all that much. I don't know what She-Hulk Jen has been up to over the years, other than what I've read from her in Immortal Hulk and then the Captain Marvel run. So other than that, my knowledge is pretty limited. But I don't know, this first issue really didn't do it for me. I'm probably going to grab a couple more, but I'm going to keep my expectations very limited for this one so far. This next one, this might be an unpopular opinion, but this one continues to be a disappointment to me. We've got Marvel's Hulk, issue number 3. This is cover A for it. I don't know. This issue, I will admit, has been a lot better than the other ones. I am actually intrigued to see where they are going with this story, just kind of how this one ended up playing out towards the very end of it. But other than that, I just don't feel interested in this at all. I do love the artwork. I think the artwork is phenomenal, but as far as the story goes, it's the same thing I've been talking about with the last couple issues. Just not really feeling it, but towards the end, I am very intrigued to see what Donny Cates does with this one. But now, let's talk about the real top 10 list. All right, everyone, so to kick this top 10 list off first, we've got coming in at number 10. This is Images, Primordial, issue number 5. This is cover C for it. I'm going to be honest, I've been a big fan of this series, but I do think this is much better read in a trade paperback form. This is Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino. I said the same thing about Gideon Falls. While I did love that series, it's not a hard read, it's not a long read, but it is something that you can just admire the artwork and blow through it pretty quickly. A lot of these issues don't actually have a lot of dialogue, and the reason I put this at the top 10 spot instead of, one of the ones maybe replaced it with She-Hulk or the Hulk issue number 3, Jeff Lemire's doing a great job making me feel very bad for these animals that are stuck in the other dimension, and the whole series is actually focused on these animals, and they're not really even talking. They're talking amongst themselves, but other than that, there's not a lot of human interaction in this series so far. So the fact that there's not a lot of dialogue, I love the artwork, and they're doing a great job making me feel bad for these animals. That's why I put it at the top 10 spot, but seriously, I do recommend this series, but if you haven't already started it, I would wait till the final issue, wait for a trade paperback, or just pick up all the back issues at once and just read it in one sitting. I think that's the best way to read this series, but I do recommend it. I'm a big fan of it so far, but for those reasons, we've got Primordial, issue number 5, coming in at number 10. And next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 9. This is Images, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 4. This is cover A. So in the past, when I've talked about this series, I said, I wish we had a little bit more dialogue, maybe just a little bit more about what's going on in the story. Who are the villains? What's really going on with this kind of black market job that our main character is doing? This issue is kind of the one I've been waiting for. There's been a lot more action happening. We got a little bit more dialogue, and we saw the other characters working behind the scenes, talking to each other. Admittedly, there's still a lot of mystery going on. We still really don't know almost anything that's happening, but the story is slowly coming together. I feel a little bit more invested in it after this issue. I read the first 3 and I thought to myself, I might drop this, but I kind of want to know what's going on, and a lot of you guys recommended just keep on it. It's going to get better. This issue, this was the one that I needed personally. So if you haven't already checked out the series, give it a shot. I think it probably would be better read all of them together, because same thing with Primordial. Very easy read, very simple, a lot of pictures. The story is being told by the artwork, but still, this is the issue I personally have been waiting for. So for those reasons, we've got Images, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 4, coming in at number 9. And next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 8. This is Marvel's Venom, issue number 4. This is the 300 homage cover. I don't know about you guys. I've talked to a lot of people so far where they feel that these 300 homages are just played out. Personally, I love them. I think they're fantastic. I eat them up every single time I see one. Now, as far as this issue goes, kind of the series itself, the things I do like is the artwork. I think the artwork is phenomenal. I think it's fantastic. I really like the pacing of each issue as well, including this one. And I love the dialogue amongst all of the characters. I think it's a well-told story, but I kind of have a problem with the story itself. So this is a continuation off of Donny Cates' run. And another problem I have is I'm not sure how I feel about Dylan being the main lead going forward. I feel as if they knew it was going to be a continuation off of Donny Cates' series, they would have had Dylan play a little bit bigger of a role. That's just my opinion, so that's how I feel about that going forward. And with the story itself, they still seem like they're trying to weaponize the symbiotes. And I don't know, between Dylan being the main character and that's going to be kind of the main plot, just not 100% sure on it so far. I'm obviously going to be continuing on with this series, but with that being said, that's why I have it in at number 8. We've got Venom, issue number 4. Next up, we've got coming in at number 7 this week. This is Marvel's Miles Morales Spider-Man, issue number 34. This is cover A for it, and this is a Beyond tie-in. However, last time I talked about this with the Miles issue, I said you have to read the ASM issue first to really get the understanding of what was going on in the Miles Morales issue. This issue, however, is not the case. You can read this one and then read the Spider-Man one. They don't really have a correlation at this point, but last time when I talked about it, there was a few things that happened in the Spider-Man issue that led to the Miles issue. But like I said, you can read these in any order right now. With this issue, I really liked it. There was a lot of action, and I just love seeing Miles and his clone just kind of interact with each other. I love how they're teaming up and trying to take down the Assessor, which leads me to my next point. I knew the Assessor was going to be playing a big role at some point, and I'm really excited to see what this character is finally all about. 34 issues deep. They've been talking about him for a little while now. I hope this is not a Kindred situation. I don't think it will be. I'm a big fan of this series compared to that other one. But this issue, like I said, a lot of action. And I just love seeing Miles and the clone interact with each other. That is what honestly made this issue to me. So for those reasons, we've got Miles Morales Spider-Man, issue number 34, coming in at number 7. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 6. This is Marvel's brand new series. We've got Silver Surfer Rebirth, issue number 1. This is a variant cover for it. So with this one, like She-Hulk, I kept my expectations very low. Last thing I think I read was Silver Surfer Black, and I thought that was very okay. With this one, it started off slow, started off me thinking, man, this is just alright. The artwork was cool, but as far as the story itself goes, the first issue really didn't bring me into it. However, towards the middle, when we got that whole little change up between Genis-Vell and Silver Surfer, I'm not going to spoil a single thing from that. But once we kind of had that 180 happen and Silver Surfer was like, whoa, hold up. What's really going on right now? That's when I was hooked, and that's when I was like, oh, I'm sticking with this one. This is awesome. And then from there, we got a little bit of action, but the whole time, Silver Surfer really doesn't even know what's still going on. And then the ending itself, I'm very amped for issue number 2. Definitely check this one out if you were a little bit on the more skeptical side like myself, but honestly, I thought it was fantastic. So for those reasons, we got Silver Surfer Rebirth, issue number 1, coming in at number 6. And here we go. We're down to the top 5 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 5 this week. This is Marvel's Moon Knight, issue number 7. This is cover A, and this series continues to be fire. I love it. I love the artwork, and every issue just brings something new to the table. This series aside, did you see the trailer, though? It was so awesome to me. I'm going to be honest, though. I've talked about it a lot of times in these videos. I don't have a ton of knowledge on Moon Knight. I do have the omnibus coming my way. Last time I checked, this is where I bought it. InStockTrades.com had the regular cover and the direct market variant in stock. I think it was $77, free shipping if you pick economy, and then plus whatever tax from your state. Came out to me $82 shipped. Check it out if you want some more Moon Knight knowledge under your belt, but let's talk about that down low in the comment section. Back to this series. It's been absolute fire. I love it. The artwork, the storytelling, the pacing. This is a top-notch Marvel series right now to me. And this issue, I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it, but it was like a detective issue. We've got Mark Spector, Moon Knight, trying to figure out who this Zodiac character is. So he's kind of shaking down some people, trying to get some leads. Awesome issue. If you haven't already read this series, you really need to get caught up on it. I love it from Marvel right now, but for those reasons, we've got Moon Knight issue number 7 coming in at number 5. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 4, this is Marvel's Strange Academy, issue number 15. This is cover A. Before I get into this issue, so this is the first cover appearance of this character, and if you checked eBay prices, it is selling well over cover. Last time I checked, it was kind of around $15 to $20 plus shipping. This character already had a first appearance, and it seems as though nobody cared about that first appearance, so why all of a sudden care about the first cover appearance? If you didn't get this cover, you weren't able to get this issue, just give it some time. The market will readjust, and I'm sure this book will drop in price. Just give it a little bit of time. Now, as far as this issue goes, this is another thing I talk about all the time. I feel very biased towards this series. I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter. I love the series. I love the movies. And this truly does remind me of that. So that's why I feel like I have this attachment to that. I grew up a Harry Potter kid. I saw all the movies in the theaters and read the books as a kid. Loved it. And that's just kind of how I feel about this one too. Now, as far as this issue goes, I thought it was fantastic. We've got all the kids. They're basically still doing the same exact thing. You know, they're in class. And this one in particular, they're working on some just attacks, some defense stuff. But we've got Calvin. Calvin is the main piece of this issue. And honestly, he's been a main piece of this series so far, and I think he is going forward as well. With this one, I'm not going to be getting too into it, but he's got powers. I'm not going to tell you how he got those powers. And man, Calvin's like a little drug dealer in this issue too. It's so cool. I love it, but as I always say, I feel very biased towards this series. I'm just personally a big fan of all of it. With that being said, let's talk about it a little bit more down low. Let me know, am I biased towards this? Do you like it too? But we've got Strange Academy, issue number 15, coming in at number 4. And now we're down to the final 3 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 3 this week. This is Marvel's The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 86. This is cover A, and Spider-Man fans rejoice. This series has been absolutely fire so far. I truly did not think that they were going to be able to recover from everything that Nick Spencer did, but it's almost as if they completely forgot it existed, which I'm really happy about. This has been exactly what I'm waiting for. Every issue has been awesome. The artwork's been changing up a little bit, but it's still been consistently very good. I love what they're doing with Ben Reilly. I love just the little mysteries of the Beyond Corporation that they're throwing in with it. And now this issue in particular picks up where the last one left off. Everything that Doc Ock told Ben in that last issue is happening in this one. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it, but I just love what they're doing with it. We've got Ben, he's questioning the company. Hell, he's questioning almost everything in his life right now. He doesn't know who he can trust. He doesn't really know exactly what's even happening, but man, going forward, this is going to be an awesome ride. I'm excited for it. You Spidey fans, if you're still trying to get over everything that happened in that last volume, just forget about it. Pick this one up. Well, pick up this entire new volume, and I promise you're going to like it. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry. That's why everything I always say is just my opinion. But seriously, I feel like it's been very good so far. With that being said, we've got ASM issue number 86 coming in at number 3. And next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 2. This is Images, The Silver Coin, issue number 8. This is cover A. This continues to be one of my favorite ongoing series right now amongst any publisher. I absolutely love it. I love what they're doing, how each issue is just kind of different, but it still follows the silver coin. So while I'm not going to get too in-depth with this issue because I don't want to spoil too much, if you were wondering about this series, why I love it so much, this series pretty much just follows the silver coin. It's got a curse on it, and whoever's the holder of the coin pretty much gets cursed by the coin. It's like you get what you want, but at the same time, you don't get what you want. I hope that makes sense. You just got to read it for yourself. But this one, the coin pretty much attaches itself to one of the janitors that's working what seems to be a big corporation in New York City. And from there, all hell breaks loose, as always. Everything that the silver coin comes near, all hell breaks loose. Definitely got to pick this one up. And in case you were wondering, this is a series that you can kind of pick up each individual issue. You don't really need to read it in any sort of specific order, because like I said before, each issue is basically its own story. It just follows the silver coin itself. So with that being said, we've got the silver coin issue number 8 coming in at number 2. And this is it, my top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is AWA's The Crimson Cage, issue number 2. This is cover A. This was an incredible issue. John Lee's killed it. Everybody else that's working on this series right now killed it. AWA continues to put out insanely, incredibly awesome series. There's no series from AWA that I just can't recommend. The only one that I even didn't finish was Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal, and the people I talked to said it was still a great read. So with that being said, this issue was like the perfect continuation off of the first one. It's dark, it's gritty, we got the violence, the action, and everything that our main character pretty much not wished for, but wanted that he was going to get from those swamp ladies. I don't want to get too much into that if you didn't read the first one. All happened in this issue, and it's like, you know, it's exactly what he wished for, but at the same time, something is going to happen where it's not exactly how he wished for it. Insane issue. Let's talk about this one a little bit more down low, but seriously, I can't stop recommending AWA enough. They have so many good series, and if you don't want to get the back issues, some of them are actually a little bit pricier. They've got trade paperbacks for almost every single series that they have on the market right now. So check them out online. I think on their website they have a lot of really good deals. If not, there's so many other online retailers that have them at a nice discounted price too. But with that being said, we've got the Crimson Cage coming in, taking the title at number 1 this week. So what do you guys think about this week's New Comic Book Day? Such an awesome week. There were a ton of incredible series that came out. I only grabbed 12 issues. I probably, like I said, could have grabbed 15, 16, maybe even 17 at the beginning of this video, but I had to financially set myself a limit, and that was 12. If there were some issues I did not talk about today that you picked up that you really are recommending, be sure to comment it down below, and I'll see what I can do about picking it up. And with that being said, if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, be sure to hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new content, you won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.